All right, final story of the day. It's a two-parter. Islamic extremism, we have a problem, okay, globally. So here's a story coming out of India. Uttar Pradesh, Hindu girl beheaded after she refused to convert to Islam. Husband Ijaz and friend Sohab Akhtar nabbed. So you can show the article up there. I'm going to read you a bit from it because it goes to what I've been saying for a while, okay? Here it is. In a barbaric act, 23-year-old Hindu woman has been brutally murdered by two Muslim youth after she refused to convert to Islam after marriage. The incident has occurred in Uttar Pradesh. According to the reports, the Uttar Pradesh police on Monday had recovered a beheaded body of a woman in a forest area near Pradeep Nagar under the Chopin police station area. The police officials said that the father of the deceased, I can't pronounce that name, identified the deceased as Priya Sonier of her shoes and clothes. The father of the deceased informed the police that that his daughter Priya had married a Muslim youth named Ijaz Ahmed against the wishes of the family. About a month and a half ago, according to the father of the deceased, Ijaz was persuading her to convert to Islam, which she disagreed. The police officers said that Ijaz kept her at a lodge in Orbra area, as continuously pressuring to convert to Islam. As the Hindu girl refused to convert, here's the important part. The angry Ijaz called upon another friend, Sohab Akhtar, and the two Muslim youth carried out Priya to a nearby forested area and killed her. That's a key line. This is the problem. These aren't isolated incidents, and I talk about this. Serial killers are so incredibly rare. What is even more rare is a pair of serial killers. Like Kalar Homolka and Paul Bernardo will always be the most famous pair in Canada because it's so very rare that someone so sick and twisted gets together with someone else and they go and murder people in a spree. But in order to connect people to do heinous acts, you need a shared ideology. And that shared ideology here is clearly radical Islam. Okay? There is a major problem where someone can say, I'm planning on murdering my 23-year-old wife because she doesn't want to convert to Islam. Can you help me? And then a friend says, oh yeah, that makes sense. She won't convert to Islam and she married you. We should chop her head off because that's dishonoring you. And yeah, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense, right? Because when it's two people doing this, it means the problem is with way, way more than two people. When it's one person doing something, you can say it's an isolated incident. Once it's more than one and they share an ideology, it's a cultural problem. It is a cultural problem here that people feel like they can, forcibly convert people to Islam and then murder them if they don't. Okay, so, this has gone some steam in India because, the left in India and the media there is pushing this big interfaith marriage stuff and how wonderful it is, but you have these problems all over the country where it doesn't end up in fairy tale endings. Not to mention, and more it's a Pakistan thing, but India too, Sikh and Hindu girls being kidnapped, raped, and then forcibly married and forced to convert to Islam. Also, guys, talk to your spouse. If you're ever in interracial or interfaith relationships, talk to people. Talk to the person you want to marry. Make sure that you're okay with them not converting to Islam, right? If you're going to marry someone and he really wants you to convert to Judaism and you don't really want to convert to Judaism, you want to stay a Christian, you want to stay a Muslim, or someone really wants you to convert to Christianity but you want to stay a Jew, that marriage isn't going to work. I know interfaith relationships that are successful, and I'm not saying don't marry outside your faith, okay? But if you want to be in a monofaith relationship but you're of different faiths and neither is willing to budge, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Talk to each other. Now, the other similar thing here is the Charlie Hebdo thing. So bring up this tweet, and I'm bringing up this tweet by Tom Quiggin because he does the best job of describing the key point from this article. So the person who did the second terrorist attack at Charlie Hebdo, he called his family in Pakistan before he did it and informed them what he was going to do. And his father said, go do it. This is great. The entire family will get into heaven if you go and commit this terrorist attack. This is sick and twisted. This is a culture that supports terrorism, and that's Islamic extremism. Here is this is an outlier, this isn't like this. No. Something needs to be addressed here. This is the second time people tried to murder Charlie Hebdo for printing the cartoons. The man called his father and his family, told them he was going to be a terrorist, and they said, high five, you're going to get all of us into heaven. All of us. We're all going to heaven because you're committing this murder. Second murder, let's all hold pencils up in the air. That will solve the problem. Right? And where's the backlash? Where's the public outcry? And the fact, and I've said this before, this is the thing. You gotta change the honor-shame calculus here. Right now, what these mass murderers have done, it brings honor in their sick little inner circle. Not in the other parts of India, but because these two men who murdered the Hindu girl in India, they felt, hey, this woman is dishonoring us by not converting to Islam, so to regain honor, we should murder her, right? These family in Pakistan, oh, someone's drawing pictures of the Prophet Muhammad, we should murder them, bring back our honor, right? We had remember when everyone tried to kill Salman Rushdie for writing a book? Right? You have to change the honor shame calculus, which means when acts like this happen, what needs to happen is the media needs to have a concerted effort and ask the elders in the community, why is this happening? Go to the people, why is it happening? Do you support this? And then put the pressure on the elders in the community here to say, do you justify this, do not justify? And if they're saying, yeah, well, it's justified, she wouldn't convert to Islam, this dishonors us, then you put that out. Then you expose this. You have to force the elders to say, no, we disagree, this is dishonorable. Right? And then people know the next time someone wants to murder their wife for not converting to Islam, he will know, hey, if I commit a murder and I chop someone's head off for Islam, what's going to happen is the media is going to ask my grandparents and the elders in this community if they support me, and they'll be forced to disown me, and then that will bring dishonor to our village nationally. So I don't want to dishonor the village, so instead of murdering this woman, I'm going to divorce her.